Hello everybody and welcome to another Dakman Productions video. I got a request to compare the MTH Premier Auto Rack with the Lionel scale version Auto Rack. The MTH is up front, the Lionel is in the back. So the first thing I notice is that the Lionel version is longer. And that is because the Lionel is actually 89 feet in scale. I'm not sure what MTH used as far as scale feet, but they are a little on the short side. The Lionel version is also much lighter in comparison to the MTH version. So you can pull a lot more cars. The MTH is a little bit heavier, but they both roll pretty well. And the MTH, of course, has metal wheels. It has metal couplers. The MTH does not have roller bearing trucks, so that's one thing that it does not feature. The other, while we have this in our hand, the other thing that I really thought they lacked on detail as far as these grates. They're not see-through. They're solid panels on the MTH version. Also, the MTH version does not have opening doors, so there's no interior on these. So while the MTH may be cheaper, there's quite a bit you're not getting. You don't get an interior. You don't get the rotating wheel bearings. You don't get the see-through grating. But they do handle the 054 curves a lot better. And by the way, you want to at least have 054 for these MTH Premier Auto Racks. And I'm going to show you the undercarriage of the MTH. And it's got some piping and stuff. And there's your truck and the coupler. Typical MTH components. Alright, here's the Lionel version, the scale version. And I just love how they made these panels. These are actually see-through panels, just like the real thing. These little holes are actually all the way through, unlike the MTH version. So just in the detailing alone, you're getting a lot more detail in these panels than MTH. The Lionel scale auto racks do not feature rotating wheel bearings either. But on another note, they do have doors that actually open. And you have to be very careful. These doors are fragile. And then you get an interior. See if I can steady myself. I'm holding this with one hand. There we go. So there's the interior. The only thing I didn't like about the interior is the beams get wider as you go on the bottom tier, but the top tier is all the way through. But look at that. So you get an interior in which you can load a car. So that alone is a plus to me. Let's take a look at the undercarriage of the Lionel here. So the one thing about the Lionel is they put this coupler on here so you can get through those tight curves. You can see how I'm operating it. So these are actually meant to operate on 054 or larger. They claim you can run this on an 042, but recommend 054. I'm the same way. You gotta at least have 054 for this. But I think that's pretty nice to get around curves, especially with a car with this kind of swing. They did that so they can set the truck in the proper place without having a coupler with a shank on it that's too long. So I think that was a good move to put that type of coupler on there. And as you can see, the coupler is also spring loaded, so you can adjust the tension on there. I do like the and these doors do open on both sides. I mean, look at the print on there. You do have to be careful how you handle these Lionel versions. They are a lot more fragile. So I'm going to give you a couple of comparison side-by-side views. So there's like a $20 difference in price between the MTH and the Lionel version. For the extra $25, you're getting a lot more detail. You're getting an actual scale size car. You're getting a full interior. So you do get a lot more for your money. Yeah, the MTH does handle the curves a little bit better. But it's all depending on how you want to run your auto rack train. And depending on what kind of curves you got. I see a lot of guys, they just take the Lionel and put them on the siding because they do have a large overhang when they swing through a curve, which I'll show you, versus the MTH will take an 054 curve much better. This is a 143 scale car. There's quite a few manufacturers that make 143 scale. It is a little bit bigger than, of course, 148, which is the size of the train, but I use 143 cars and 150 scale trucks for my scenery. But I wanted to show you, let's get that out of the way, that the car, when you open up the doors all the way, actually let's put it this way. So even though the car is 143, it fits in there pretty well, at least on the top tier. So you can buy regular 143 scale cars and put them in here with no problem, at least on the top row. But the problem with putting them in the bottom row is the side truss rods flare out. So the 143 car, as you can see, the truss rods on the side, the support rods on the side actually flare out. So the car doesn't quite fit in on the bottom tier as I guess it does. I'll try the car. I guess it depends on the manufacturer, because I tried to put another car in there and the mirrors were hitting. So it all depends on the manufacturer. But this car that I picked out this time actually fits in there. There was one that I had picked out and it wouldn't fit because the mirrors were hitting. But I noticed the mirrors on this are kind of smaller, so it will fit in there. I didn't think it would, but it does. So there you go. So you don't have to buy the Lionel cars to put in your auto rack, because regular 143 scale cars will fit in here with no problem. So as I mentioned, there's much more overhang on the Lionel car than there is the MTH version, which I'm going to show you here. Let me get around here. So as you can see, I can focus in on here. The Lionel version, which is in front, which is the front auto rack, has quite a bit more overhang than the MTH version, which doesn't have as much. And that's because on the MTH version the trucks are actually closer to the ends. But remember, the Lionel version is to scale. So I'm going to pick this up and get it closer so you can actually see that the Lionel, how much the Lionel actually overhangs in a curve. And that's 054, by the way. That's an 054 curve that I have them on. It will go through it, but like I said, it's not too realistic as far as the overhang. But as you can see, the MTH version, which is the rear car, does not have as much overhang as the Lionel does in 054. I'll show you the back end of that. So as far as realistically looking in a curve, the MTH does look better as far as going through an 054 curve than the Lionel version. But the Lionel version is scale and comes complete with full interior. Alright, I'm going to go back to doing another comparison. Alright, so the height of the cars are a little different as well. The Lionel, which is the front car, has a lower roof line than the MTH version. The MTH is just a tad bit higher, so I had to tweak a couple of tunnels to get the MTH to go through it, because it does ride a little high compared to the Lionel. Alright, here's another angle of the MTH versus Lionel. The MTH is here, the Lionel is over here. And again, we're talking about an MTH Premier, which is supposed to be scale, compared to the Lionel scale, which is 89 foot. Because the person requested a couple different angles in the review. And I noticed that the extensions on the MTH are a little short compared to the Lionel extensions. The Lionel extensions come out further past the doors than the MTH version. But as you can see, the difference in the truck is a lot closer to the edge of the car, so you don't get that overhang. But of course, that's not really prototypical for those who are rivet counters. For those who want scale, Lionel has you covered. Let's see if I can focus in there. There you go. So Lionel has you covered because the trucks are further back where they should be, but on tighter curves, you're going to have more overhang, so you have to be careful if you're running 054, which is bare minimum. I do have curves on my layer that's 072. So I have a mix of 072 and 054. And once again, I just like these opening doors. So you can actually model, unloading cars out of these if you wanted to. Alright, if you're looking for the ultimate auto rack, then you want to turn to the Atlas O articulated auto rack. And let me tell you, this thing is a monster. But I just absolutely love this articulated auto rack. And Atlas makes this. So I figured while I'm showing auto racks, I wanted to show you guys the Atlas O articulated auto rack. And that as well has a full interior, believe it or not. This will also negotiate an 054 curve as well. Minimum. You don't want to go any tighter than that. So that's my comparison of the auto racks and showing you the Atlas O articulated. Hope this video was helpful. But if you're looking to just put together a train of auto racks, then it really doesn't matter to me. You can mix Lionel, you can mix Atlas, you can mix MTH. They all look good all together as far as I'm concerned. And thank you for watching DAC Man Productions video.